You playing all week, you had that tee time and it's ready to go. And sure enough, what happens? It rains or pours.
Yeah.
Or come the winter, you've played all this great golf all the way through fall. And what happens? It's the winter.
Yep.
You can't go out again. It's like, I got to wait. You're not playing and you got to wait all the way to the spring. Well, now I'm trying to bridge that gap and to be able to play all year long. And not only that, the whole idea is that we'll be 24/7 for members. Yeah. So members can now come in whenever they want. That me, like a busy guy, I come off, my hours are all over the place. Yeah. So I want to be able to
wind down, man, when you get off.
Exactly.
All you insomniacs out there, Lady Ace Golf Club.
That's the whole point, is that you can come in 24/7, 11. We talked about the lawyer, the doctor, or just the guy coming off a long shift. What does he want to do an hour before he gets home? Just go play a little bit. Yeah. Wind down. And we're going to be, not only that, we want to make it a country club environment so you can feel like you can sip some whiskey and be able to play at the same time, get that wind down, go home, enjoy, and you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Let's fucking roll.
All right, everybody, welcome back to McBastard Studio. I'm Brad Banyas. I'll be your host today. You're listening to the SALTYmf Go podcast. And today we're really excited to talk to Mike McCarthy. He started a new kind of trend in the golf world called the Lady Ace Golf Club, and we're excited to hear about what he's doing. So after the week of the Masters last week, we thought it'd be good to talk about some golf and new technology. So welcome, Mike McCarthy. Welcome.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, man, no worries. So Lady Ace, we were talking a little bit before. I know that you're a pilot Marines, and so it kind of started to make sense. You've got some killer designs on what you're doing. So why an indoor high-tech, golf facility that's a club? What made you think of that?
I've always wanted to have the opportunity to play more golf. Every time I thought when I became a pilot, it would be like, oh, hey, like I'm going to go fly all the time and then go out to the golf course after. Little did I know when you become a Marine pilot, that's that's far from the case, especially when you're in the rotary world. I fly MV-22 Ospreys for the Marine Corps Reserves now. I flew for active duty. I was on the West Coast most of my time. Then I've been on the East Coast on my last active duty station, and then my reservist gig right now. And I thought I would have all the time in the world to just go fly and then, go play golf. Never happened. And then what happened then after that, got married, the kids started coming. I realized I have less and less time. And so when I finally got to the point where I finally got out, got my career job. I'm with Delta Airlines now, and then I'm still reservist. I'm like, hey, let's add one more thing to my plate. I'm going to finally commit to this idea I've had. And bless my wife, she's heard so many ideas and stuff. And
welcome to the McBastard Studio.
Yeah, exactly. She finally is like, okay, this is a good idea. And at the same time, she's doing nursing school right now. So bless her heart, I give her all the credit for letting me pursue something. And she's like, all right, this is a good idea. Let's take this opportunity. I can't thank her enough. But anyways, so I wanted something where I could do more golf. I wanted something that was accessible. And one thing, it's always hard to go to a golf course, a country club, to be available to do that. It takes time. And one thing I saw that it's like, okay, this new space with simulators and simulator golf, you can shorten that time, but also have more availability to play.
Right.
Even here in Atlanta, where it's warm a lot of the year, but that random storm in the middle of the day or something like that, what's the worst thing can happen in your week is you've played all week, you had that tee time and it's ready to go, and sure enough, what happens? It rains or pours. Yeah. Or come the winter, you've played all this great golf all the way through fall, and what happens? It's the winter.
Yep.
You can't go out again. It's like, I gotta wait. You're not playing, and you gotta wait all the way to the spring. Well, now I'm trying to bridge that gap, and to be able to play all year long, and not only that, the whole idea is that we'll be 24/7 for members. Yeah. So members can now come in whenever they want. That me, like a busy guy, I come off, my hours are all over the place. Yeah. So I want to be able to
wind down, man, when you get off.
Exactly.
All you insomniacs out there, Lady Ace Golf Club.
That's the whole point, is that you can come in 24/7, 11. We talked about the lawyer, the doctor, or just the guy coming off of, a long shift. What does he want to do an hour before he gets home? Just go play a little bit.
Yeah.
Wind down. And we're going to be, not only that, we want to make it a country club environment so you can feel like you can sip some whiskey and be able to play at the same time, get that wind down, go home, enjoy, and you don't feel like you're missing out on anything.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's a great idea. I mean, and other things like Top Golf and all these guys have done really well. I mean, they're everywhere now. I mean, Top Golf's kind of exploded. And I think you're right. I mean, a lot of people don't have also just access to a regular country club type environment, is right. I mean, so there's certain, first of all, financial requirements to do that keep some people out of doing that. And most of that's really social and meeting people anyway. So it's kind of it's an amazing kind of idea. I'm excited. So what you guys also, like, you guys are invested in some like new kind of track technology and some of this other stuff.
Exactly.
Like what's that? I don't know. So like, what's that experience like?
So the other item is that we are investing in TrackMan. So TrackMan is the top end, what the PGA uses for all the top PGA golfers use that. Right. And the nearest one, I'm up in Cherokee County, so we're up a little bit more rural than
next to FOCO.
Yeah. So we're up more rural. So, but there's not an available TrackMan for someone to come in and use in the whole county. The next one down is down in Kennesaw, and so there's a market that's, hey, we want to be able to use the high end stuff as well.
Right.
And I want to make it affordable for somebody to come in at a very affordable rate to be able to use the high end technology. Why shouldn't they be able to have that accessibility to be able to use it? So we want to bring that to our area. It's growing. If you know anything about Atlanta, what's it doing?
Absolutely.
It's crawling up our area.
Yeah.
So we want to
don't come here. It stinks, sucks.
We're moving up more and more north to get like that's what we're personally doing. We're also moving up more north to get away. We like the space, and this is the opportunity to do it. But we lucked out with the location. So the mill at Etowah is where we have a space that we are looking at right now. We've pretty much almost right there. So that's our planned space right now. We're looking for a fall opening just based on the timeline. So fall ramping up into winter. So when we're starting out, we get to ramp up into the winter. But it's a great location that has restaurants, shops there. It's old paper mill that they've refurbished. And the big thing they're looking for is to keep people there at the mill. Yeah. And that's what we're providing there, is we keep people there at the mill. They have great events. This past weekend, they had what's called the Masters at the Mill. So shout out to Birdie Box and Christian over there at Birdie Box. He sponsors the event and brings out a bunch of golf vendors out there. And we all get to be on the green space watching the Masters. Yeah. And a bunch of golf vendors, and it's promoting business and small business. And then all the restaurants get the benefit. But after that, once that shuts down, it goes back to just restaurants there. Yeah. So we want to be able to keep people there.
It's like an anchor, man. So the anchor thing. And I mean, it also too, like, so, I mean, I know you guys are going to have different tiers. We won't get too much into that, but so I think it's definitely a winner, just because I've never been in one like that or seen one. So I don't know if that's unique. Like it's a unique thing to do, or there's other people that have done it that you kind of saw and got the idea.
That's what's great about small business, is that small business always thrives with each other. So, and social media connects that across the country, actually internationally, because there is these studios doing the same thing all over the country and international. I've talked to guys who are doing it out in England and Scotland. Oh, that's awesome. This is wild. This is how this world keeps getting smaller. But I've talked to these guys and they're like, okay, how are you doing this? What's successful for you? What's not successful? And it's like, okay, when I build this whole plan and how do I execute on this, I go to realize those resources.
So it's the people that you got a community of that people you can draw from. That's
exactly.
Great. That's great, man. Well, I find that, just because you and I were talking before, I mean, sometimes you've got a passion for something, you got an idea, it's a good idea, you got to just do it. Like you just got to, you got to give it a try, man. You got to roll it, And so have you, right now, do you have any like idea, like, because it's called the Lady Ace, and there's a reason why that came from your military background and all that. But I think also people that are just kind of wanting to get better at golf or learn golf, it'd be like a really good genre to do that in, versus going somewhere where you're at a club or it's an expensive club and, everyone's really serious about, hey, don't do this, clean your divots up. I mean, if you've ever been to a hoity-toity golf club, sometimes it's no offense, guys, but sometimes it's a little too much.
A little stuffy sometimes.
Yeah.
What was the coolest thing? So we just did this Masters at the Mill event. And because the Lady Ace is very welcoming and it's very fun, and all of our theming and how the club will be themed is very vintage, very 40s, 50s style, like throwback. What was the coolest thing I saw is when I had women come up to our booth and it's like, hey, I really want to get into this. But there was always like a barrier of entry for them to get into it. And I was like, okay, like our whole thing and the coaches I'm talking to, I have some female coaches that want to come in to be a part of this. Also coaches that are future youth coaches. So we want to be able to open that up. Like, it'll be a very country club and very it feels very gentlemanly, but that's not what we're trying to. We're not trying to push just a ladies club or just a gentleman's club. We want this to be open, available. And it was really cool when I talked to them. It's like, hey, I want to do this. I'm like, I'm bringing in coaches for you. I want you to get into this game. If you've ever seen the dynamic of where golf's going, it's getting younger. It's being more inclusive. It's being opened up to more people. And I think there's something about golf. When you go out to a golf course or you go out and go to our club, what do you want to do? You want to socialize. You want to be out there. You want to bring people together. It brings people together. And that's the whole goal with this club.
I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, it's a social gathering, really, right? And anytime that you can add alcohol or food, or maybe we'll have a cigar bar there at some point.
That's what's really cool, is that there's a cigar bar that the space that we were looking at, it looks at the space.
Oh, so he's right there.
It's right there. The Mill does a lot of food delivery, and Reformation Brewery. There's a brewery right there. So, and they all deliver. So it's like, we plan on having whiskey lockers. So if you want to bring in your own stuff, you can rent on a locker. Or if hey, you want to bring in, Salty wants to come out and hey, we want to have a Salty day. And we have a locker there for Salty.
Absolutely.
That's your bottle. And I would keep it safe for you, and you can bring, hey guys, we're having a Salty golf day.
That's killer.
And you guys can come out or bring food there. There's a lot of local restaurants there that are ready for to deliver.
That's great, man. I mean, the location is amazing, and I think the growth out there, really, where you guys are at, is going to be. I mean, it's going to be. You're not going to have a lack of customers or opportunities. It's really awesome. Mm-hmm. So is your wife a golfer? Just curious. Does she like to golf?
So we actually had one of our anniversaries. We kind of combined them. We're coming back from the Marine Corps ball, which out in Jacksonville. We drove back together and we stopped in Augusta and we played golf together. But she's like me. She wants to get into this, but we're busy with 3 kids and
absolutely.
She's got her career. I got my career. This is allowing us to do this together. So, and she has her grandpa Buck is always a big golfer, and she feels so connected to that.
Yeah. And
she wants to now I want to get into golfing because I feel connection to my Uncle Buck, and she's an athlete too. We both play college athletics, so sports for her is very natural.
Yeah.
And for her, it's a connection too. So it's very. We want to do this. We want to expose our kids to all the sports. We don't care what sport you choose. Just do a sport.
There's
so much.
Good. Yeah, it's good for you.
So much you learn from sports. That's what I mean. We both play college athletics. So much we gain from that.
You need a Grandpa Buck's corner or something. You got to have something there. Cool. You got to have something there on a Grandpa Buck. Yeah. So, or if you went around, you get a Grandpa Buck. You get Grandpa Bucks. You win dollars, win coins, and use them.
Oh, absolutely, that's a great idea.
Grandpa Buck, I'm not forgetting you, buddy. I'm not forgetting you.
Yeah.
Grandpa Buck's corner. So
that's a great idea. No, we want to bring this inclusivity to the club and bring everybody into it and enjoy the space. We want this to be a very hub for Canton and Cherokee County to be able to be available for them. I think this is a good social spot for it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. I mean, I think, and also I think, you know, I looked at some of your like, you know, your membership stuff, and it's very, in my mind, it's very lenient, very affordable, very, you know, kind of, you know, anybody can kind of join it, and you guys are pretty lenient on how many guests like they could bring, and you know that, you know, and if you go typically to a course, there, you know, there's certain amount of guests you can bring and all that good stuff. But
well, the goal is with that is to, if they bring in a guest, well, they enjoy it and they feel like, okay, I want to get more into golf. Well, there's a coach available to teach you, or like, I didn't know about this.
Right.
So it brings them in, and it grows the community.
Yeah.
I come from being in the Marine Corps is all about, the Marine Corps is very small. If you look at the Marine Corps versus Air Force, Army, Navy, it's very small. So everything is very tight knit, very community. I mean, the military is always about that, but the Marine Corps especially. So that's just natural in my thing. I just want to bring community together, and I think that's the whole goal of the club.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you know, it sounds like you're on your way, brother. You got fall to get that thing rolling, and I think I don't think you're going to have to do a lot of marketing, advertising. I mean, people find it. I mean, even just the driving ranges, like it used to, when we were growing up, there was always even just driving ranges around. Now it's like the Top Golfs or whatever. It's more entertainment. But, you know, even if you just want to go hit balls somewhere or just kind of work on your game, I mean, it's not like there's a ton of places. So if you're not a club member, right, you know, it's hard. I mean, it's public courses, obviously, but a lot of those courses get crowded and stuff. So,
well, even what makes us different from Topgolf is that when you go into Topgolf, it's so much loud entertainment and everything like that. It's kind of like when you walk into a bar and the music's so, you want to enjoy it with your friends, but the music's so loud, or like you can't even hear yourself think in the club. Like, I want to be able to go in and just enjoy the space. I can still have a drink or two, or go learn a lesson or do something, and enjoy that with somebody else.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, you and I showing up. Hey, there's Mike.
Yep.
You know, hey, there's Susan. You know, there's whatever. It gives you that kind of club feel, right? Which is nice, because you're people. Even though most people like familiarity, right? They like seeing people. They like, you know, knowing someone's name when you get into that thing. When you're going to just kind of what I call a massive entertainment thing, it's, you know, you never know what's going to be there, and lines, and you get that kind of special feel of you belong to the club and all that. I love, I mean, by the way, I love y'all's just branding.
I appreciate it.
It's awesome. You know, we obviously like branding and things like that, but the branding is just on par, man. It's amazing.
We got a great story behind it. So the Lady Ace was, is their squadron out in VMM 165 is their squadron out in Miramar, which is our, that's Osprey Squadron out in Miramar, California. And we were one of the last Marine Corps squadrons that we still had a pinup girl side, because our call sign was Lady Ace.
Right.
So anytime you hear us on the radio, it's Lady Ace. And so the squadron decided to say, okay, we'll make a secondary logo for it. Like our normal mascot is the White Knights, but because our call sign was Lady Ace, and that goes back to Vietnam days for certain reasons. But the Lady Ace with the call sign, we decided, okay, we'll make another mascot out of it.
Yeah.
So we have a Ace of Spade card with the pinup girl on it, and great, sexy pinup girl. And I used to be when I first got to the squadron, I was I used to do the merchandise. I used to raise funds. The biggest always goal was to raise funds for the Marine Corps Ball. So when we raised funds for the Marine Corps Ball, we saw merchandise and stuff, and we had the Lady Ace. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to do something with this. So we would go out we'd do hangar parties and air shows and stuff, and get the promotion. We'd always outsell all these other squadrons because our merchandise was that good. Yeah. And a lot of it is because of the Lady Ace. And funny enough, it was more ladies who wanted the Lady Ace than it was the guys. And it was a very sexy girl. So I always took pride. We had a very tight-knit family squadron. I always took pride. Anytime I reference like what squadron you come from, it's always that squadron. Yeah. I've been with a couple now, but that one's always been my home squadron. And so Lady Ace, I've always loved the idea. I've always loved the story behind it. and I wanted to continue that on. So the current Lady Ace, if you look her up, she's it's very sexy. I had to, okay, let's make this more family friendly. Got a local artist, I bring in local business. I'm working with them, and we made a great logo with it, and it ties in with a great story. And I'm just having fun. Like, okay, this is our identity. This is our brand.
It's classic Americana, man. I mean,
that's what we all want.
I mean, that's what it is. It's just classic Americana, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. We've got a really good artist, Erica Arntz, coming up on May 1st. I don't know if you know her, but she's kind of famous muralist and stuff. She's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if you ever need some artwork, she's phenomenal. Erica, we're looking forward to having you on May 1st. She's amazing. But she does some really cool art. So.
Oh, it's a fun logo, and there's stuff we can continue to do with it. Like this one, we did all the colorings for the Masters, so it worked with the event. And I think the idea is to keep doing that with not only just the Masters, but the U.S. Open, the Ryder
Absolutely.
Cup. Keep that going.
Yeah. That Georgia Green Classic goat looks good on your head too.
I appreciate it. I love our hat swap going on right now. I really so
it looks
really
good
nice.
in honor of the Masters.
I really appreciate it. So thank you for the merchandise, and thanks for rocking out that
I've got my
Lady
Lady Ace hat on right here. Get them online. Yeah, your merch side to this, people don't really think about that, but from a business side of what your core business is, because you did merch when you were in the Marines and everything. But I mean, the merch side, you never know. The merch side can explode and take off, and it has a new meaning or different meaning for someone outside of what your current business is actually doing. So,
I mean, respect to you guys, because it's taken one idea and expanded it. I'm like, that's what I want to see. Okay, I want to see where this goes and see how do you expand from it. It's not, you can't. In anything you do, you can't just stick to one thing.
Absolutely.
You got to be adaptable. You got to be, what's the environment? This club is, what's the new thing? What's the new thing going on? Well, indoor golf.
Absolutely.
That's the new thing. How do you take the Lady Ace farther? It's like,
Absolutely.
you got to keep adapting and changing. I mean, a lot of that I got from the Marine Corps was that keep changing, keep going, keep, what's the new thing? Because the environment is continually changing.
Well, Lady Ace may be a sponsor. You may see someone in the Masters wearing Lady Ace gear.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Or a goat, a classic green goat hat. Somebody out there, DeChambeau, somebody. But I mean, I think you're doing right. I mean, if you build that community, the other things come, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all the things like you were talking about that, and thank you for noticing like what we're doing as a broad kind of brand is. It starts, and when you start to find like, hey, there's musicians out here that like what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
There's fighters out here that like what we're doing. And so that community starts to pull you in a direction to kind of lead you where to go.
Yep.
It's not like when you sit down, like you have this ideal business plan, this ideal marketing plan. And what you find is, like where you start and what you thought it was going to be, like just takes a form of its own and just kind of, it starts creating things that you're like, I didn't think we would be doing that, but we didn't drive it. The Salty fans drove it, or conversations with partners that we had drove it. And it's a killer way to kind of, not only grow, but just you keep it fun. It's always fresh. And I see like just like the whole Lady Ace brand and what you're doing, like there's so many things that could do that, right? That you could come out. You might be sponsoring people. I don't know. I'm excited, man. I when I saw the brand, like when you were introduced to a friend of ours, and I saw it and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this is cool. Like I get this. This is really a good idea. So
we're always open to see what's the next door, what's the next opportunity. Right. Like this, I saw this whole idea is like, okay, where am I at in life? Where's the next thing to do? And I was like, okay, what door is available? Is it the right time? Is the right thing? So I was like, all right, this door is available. Let's take this and let's see where we can go with it. That's how I added my partner on Brandon, was when I was talking to Brandon about this. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of working this. It started small. The idea started as just a one simulator, maybe two simulator idea. And I was talking to Brandon, like he just let me sit in his office and just like kind of work on this thing where I'm like, all right, I'm at home, the kids are at school. I'm working on this thing, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just bouncing off that. He's just like, what are you doing? Like, let's make this bigger. And that I'm like, oh, and then just like the one opportunity led to another and to another, and when you kind of like navigate it, but it just naturally, organically like lead you into that direction. And sometimes you just gotta like, okay, just see where this goes, and it's led to this now. And I think that's what we can do with the Lady Ace. It's like, okay, where can this go from here?
Absolutely, man. I mean, like I said, the merch in itself is a brand and a vehicle. I mean, the merch by itself, right? And the story that you just told about, why it meant something to you, why you did it. Like, people want to connect with, like, I just saw this logo and it was cool. Well, that's an okay story, but what's the real reason?
Yeah,
they want to connect to it. They want to connect to it.
Well, not only that, another thing we want to do with it is that the logo connects to our story, but also it's like, okay, what's the next? How do we help? It's not just, all right, we have an idea, we have this good business, okay, and we want to bring a community. Okay, the next thing is, okay, how do we help?
Yeah.
So I'm a vet. My partner's a vet. Another partner of ours, he's a vet now. He's actually about to deploy, and we, best luck to him out there. Shout out to the other Brandon, about to deploy out there, doing God's work out there. But our next thing to do is, okay, how do we help?
Yeah.
One thing is that we know that there's an association called a Veterans Golf Association, the VGA, and we want to tie in what we're doing with them. Yeah. And okay, what events are they doing? Okay, how are you helping? How do we bring in local vets that are like, hey, they just need an outlet, they need a place to be. Yeah. We want to provide that to their, the biggest thing, the hardest thing I noticed when I got out of active duty. I got out of active duty 3 years ago, and I didn't realize how much I needed a community. It was the hardest thing. And I didn't realize that until it was like, I'm already like, okay, I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah. And I thought I'd always be like, no, I'm good. I got this plan. I got everything. You don't understand how much you need it's just a job.
Yeah, absolutely. They're brothers.
Your identity, that's your identity. It's your brotherhood and everything. And there was something about that I was like, okay, I'm missing this.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
There was a lot of deep conversations with a lot of my brothers who went and got out of active duty, and we got out about the same time. And the thing we always need to do is connect with each other.
Yeah.
And I want to do that with this club.
That's
I want to
awesome.
be able to bring veterans in. I want to bring in, people who need a sense of community there, because that was the thing I needed. One thing I think that this business is doing for me is that this business is, I feel like I was talking to my wife about this, is that I needed something that kept me going. That it's like, okay, what is dynamic? That was the thing about the Marine Corps. Every day was a new challenge. Something came up, whether it was like a mission or, hey, we need parts, or hey, like this Marine needs help in this way. It was always dynamic. Yep. And I love my job. I love what I do as a pilot and for Delta. And I love, the other jobs I had as a pilot. And I still get to do it part-time as a reservist. I hate saying part-time as a reservist, because it's not like, you still identify as a Marine.
Yeah.
You can tell me, I keep bringing back Marine Corps. It's just who I am.
Yeah.
And I talk to, whenever I go back to North Carolina, I talk to Brandon. It's like, oh, like our time frames were very different, but we always like, okay, I was, this was my place. I used to go there. I'm like, oh yeah, that's still there. That's still there. It's that connection. Anyways, I was just doing a job. It was like a 9-to-5 job for me. And I needed something dynamic. I needed that back. And doing this business is now like, okay, I feel like as an entrepreneur now that I'm getting that back in my life and connecting that.
Absolutely.
And the connections I'm doing, because, I've been very focused on getting small businesses in there, because I feel like I'm back in the Marine Corps. One of the things I was most proud of is always when I worked with my staff NCOs and my young Marines and like working with them. Oh, it was so proud. Like, it makes you so proud when you see them do something that's like you would never have thought of, but they were very creative and they did something. And you're like, oh man, like we just succeeded because you thought outside the box.
Absolutely.
That I never would have thought of. And that's what good leaders do, is they take all that and they put that together. I like doing that now. It brings me that connection as an entrepreneur that I get to do that with local businesses.
Yeah.
I work with my merchandise. I've been working with Deadline Apparel, veteran company. And I'm like, hey, like, he's like, okay, let's do this. Let's try that. I didn't even think about that. Like the patch, we're like, all right, let's see if this works. It did. Like, it's great. The artist, Sebastian Martin, local business guy, loved him. It's like he made the design. I gave him the ideas and everything. And the dude, I didn't know that this guy's a sketch artist. So when you go to like a carnival or like an event, he does the sketch, like the big nose. Yeah. Like he's 2-time award winner, which is amazing for him. I didn't know there was a national award for it. 2-time local here in Georgia, did the art, and it was more than I could ever expect. This whole idea, how do you work in this space? Where's the right place? I feel like I'm back doing that. And now I need to get back. Now this business, we're ramping up. We're very grassroots right now. Now it's like, okay, once this gets going, the next thing it's doing is, okay, how do we get back? Working with associations like the Veterans Golf Association or local veterans groups, or my wife's father and brother are both police officers. My mom's a nurse, her mom's a nurse. Like those first responders, they need something like that, an outlet. Absolutely. I need to get back somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. And George, in its sense, there's a ton of veteran-focused organizations that have been on our show and know that I'm sure they'd love to get involved. So we definitely can hook you up with some of those guys too. That would be really Chris Cathers and Brothers Keepers Veteran Foundation. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but
I've been watching them. Yep.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot of guys here locally. We've had some other people on the show, and they're all like, very much like you, just great dudes. And like what you just shared about, that sense of belonging or brotherhood or purpose is a theme like I see with everyone that comes in. That these guys are Navy, Army, Marines, Green Berets, CIA. I mean, anything you could. Other government agency. Other government.
3-letter agencies we don't talk about.
Other government agency. Don't come get me. But they're all just really good dudes. But that one sentiment that you just said, they all say that. It's like I'm sitting here and we've interviewed and not interviewed but participated and shared everyone's story. It's the common theme. And I always say, like, when you get into like your entrepreneurship and you get into doing it's like you pulling all these local businesses in, local artists, local merch guys, whatever. Like they are your platoon or your team or your squadron.
Exactly.
You're just not, under the same umbrella as whatever the Marines marching order is. They are your boys or ladies or girls. And when you start to see that, like we would never be where we're at without the quality people that we have helped put on the show. Open Heart Media, our guys in our marketing like Dawson, Griffin, the other hosts on the show, the tech guys behind the scene, Dimitri, Dennis, that nobody talks about. I never mention that, but I mean, those people are amazing. And I'm just the ugly, hairy guy out front because I'm the only one that'll talk a lot. But yeah, it's really cool to see people transition and realize your brothers are still there with you. It's just a different kind of structure.
It's just different. Yep.
It's a different structure. So I don't know why I went off on that, but I mean,
the one thing everyone thinks of is when they think of military is that they think of it as like, oh, they, just drop bombs or shoot guns or fly airplanes. That is the farthest from the truth. To me, it's a people business.
Yeah.
Like the Marine Corps is a people business. Nothing gets done unless people work together and figure out how to solve problems. Like everything else is the tools.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps is probably going to hate me saying this, but it is a people business. We care about people and the Marines and everything. Every Marine's a rifleman. Well, that's a person. Yeah. That is somebody.
Yeah, that's his job. That's what he does in the Marines. His specialty.
But he's people, and we need to be able to manage people. And as an entrepreneur, it is we all have our companies and our businesses and our niche, but it's all about people.
Absolutely.
And
your customers.
And our
You're going to be dealing with people. They're called customers.
And you got to be able to. All right, how do you handle that? It's like when we go out and help. On a mission, we're helping other people. That's our customer base. Yeah. When as an aviation unit, what do? We help people. Yeah. Our customers are the riflemen, are the infantry guys, or like whoever we're picking up. Right. We are providing something to somebody else. Right. So all this is that I've been doing here with the Lady Ace Golf Club is just all these lessons I've taken from the Marine Corps, and now I'm just applying this. How do I apply this in the real world? I think that's what's the beauty of veterans and what they do is that they don't know. It's like osmosis for them. It's or like inadvertently they are like taking everything they've learned. We can't write it down on paper. It's so hard to well, I did this, you know. But there's so much they've taken it and they can apply it in the real world.
Absolutely.
That you cannot write it down on paper what those words are, or somebody has better words than I can ever come up with.
Well, I mean, I think it's just I think it's just you get caught up in kind of a system or what I say process of what you're used to doing, right? And then in some worlds, when you get out and just like you, I'm excited because I'm watching you birth an idea, deliver an idea, whatever, and it's so cool because people that can sit there and stew in an idea and actually take an idea, because you probably like me, we're ADD guys. I got a million ideas that just flew through my head in the last 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can stick with that and watch that, kind of give birth to that baby and watch it grow up, it's an amazing, it's an amazing adventure, and I think you're going to be really successful at it.
I appreciate my wife Liz. I appreciate her all these ideas. I spit out this new idea, and she's like, "Oh God, here we go. Where's this going?" And the timing, it was probably not our best timing because it's like again, we always do everything in absolute chaos in our family, and she's like, "Okay, we need to find a place where we can do this," but she's actually allowed me on this one to okay, go, and I'm like, "All right."
Well, if you're married, and I've been married almost 35 years, coming up May 24th, to a lovely girl named Brandy, you have to give and take, though. Sometimes you got to let someone take maybe what you think is a crazy idea, or what they're doing is a crazy idea. But if they believe in it enough, they're willing to work at it. I mean, I know many times, like when we started this, she thought I was insane. I mean, you're starting a brand called SALTYmf. Think of that.
Yep.
So maybe you got the dudes and the
dudes love it. Yeah, the guys all love it.
Yeah, the dudes are like, "Hey, motherfucker," whatever.
Yeah.
But then, what was interesting is early on, it's kind of moved more back to the dudes. But early on, majority of our customers were women.
Yep.
Which was really odd. And you couldn't write that in marketing. Now it's kind of trended back to more dudes. Mm-hmm. But the reality of it is, and even she said, she's like, I'm glad you did that. I'm glad you stuck with that, because I'd be honest with you, I didn't think that shit was going to work. So God bless your wife for letting your husband. Now, if he has some really dumb ideas, just say, no, you're not doing that one. But this is a really good idea, man. And I'm grateful to have you on our show and you tell your story. And I'm looking forward to getting up there and being a member. And
I appreciate it.
And maybe we can get some Salty's live music. We'll have a band one weekend up there for you.
That'd be fantastic. Absolutely.
And I want Grandpa Buck's corner.
Grandpa Buck's Pro Shop.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
There you go.
Grandpa Buck's Pro Shop.
There you go. We've named it. Grandpa Buck's has a pro shop. So you want to tell anyone anything else, where to find you guys? How to keep in touch with what you're doing. And
absolutely.
Yeah, you tell it's your show, brother. You tell them.
So the Lady Ace Golf Club, we are now live and taking pre-sale orders right now. So get in your membership right now with the Lady Ace Golf Club. Right now you can be joining in pre-sales, the Founders Club. get you 3 things at the Founders Club. We'll do an exclusive polo just for you with the Founders Club, nice Peter Millar polo with the Founders Club logo and our Lady Ace logo on it. You'll be on what's called a Founders Wall, which the Founders Wall is another Marine Corps trait or aviation trait. So get on the Founders Wall for that. There's a story behind that as well. And then also you'll be able to get all the benefits with the pre-sale as well. And we'll do a VIP soft opening for all our VIP members who join. So check us out. It's the Lady Ace Golf Club. Pre-sales are we're taking it now. Half off on our setup fee as well. And then check out our stuff. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Please like and share. And we're going to continue doing more promotion to get us ready for this fall opening.
That's awesome, brother. Well, get out there and get your Lady Ace Golf Club hat with the patch. It's awesome. I'm going to wear it with pride. Looking forward to it. So you heard it today. We had Mike McCarthy with the Lady Ace Golf Club. Salty Nation, we appreciate you listening. Until next week, let's go.